It's hard to yell with the barrel in your mouth.
It's about 60 people out there.
That's
Probably
it?
no, there's probably more. I haven't gone to check again. I saw it earlier.
Whew.
They'll pop in. It has to drop in. Ripple's collaborating with the University of Beijing.
Oh, really? That's kind of cool. Are we doing it? Are we broadcasting?
We're broadcasting.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We are.
Are we live?
Yeah, I need some more Ripple. I need some more Ripple. Let me see something.
What, Ripple?
I need to buy more.
I can't see it.
Ask for more. Yeah, see that? See that?
Oh, 77. Okay, I'm just coming in here. I'm just getting live. Book it. Y'all, we booked it today, didn't we? We booked it today, didn't we? We booked it today, y'all, didn't we?
Ripple.
101 live. Everybody's going live.
Ripple's at 31 cents.
Ripple's at 31 cents? Go out and get you some more.
Bitcoin's at $3,587.
Y'all, we are live. And it is 7 o'clock on the dot. 112 people, my closest friends, waiting for me. I'm so excited today, y'all. Not because of the transparency of the whole, forget the whole budget thing for a minute. The budget thing is cool, y'all. We called it at noon. If you go to Facebook on Mr. Brando's fan page, my team, we were on it like at 4 this morning. Remember when the phone went off? We were on it at 4 this morning. We were sitting there looking and looking and looking. We called this at noon. If you look at there, I say, I appreciate y'all. And it looks like the budget's going to go through. We knew it was going through. That ain't what the live news is. The live news is about what we're going to bring to y'all. I think in the gossip channels, they call this tea, right? They call this the tea. So without further ado, you on the livest IQD chat in the world, okay? In the whole world, Craig, okay? I'm so excited to be here today. Today is going to be like, wow.
They're going to be like, who's Craig?
Craig from Friday, y'all. Craig from Friday. Y'all, today is so special.
It's not Friday.
Oh, Lord. Well, keep up. Keep up. Today is so special, y'all. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad y'all are here. And you know, did you all check? Well, you can't see the thumbnail yet.
It's out there.
The thumbnail for tonight's show?
I'm posting as you're talking.
The thumbnail is Solder, and he's doing this.
Oh, that was posted earlier today.
Okay, y'all. Today is so crazy. We're about to get to it. Ladies first.
I am April BB.
And I am your co-host, Mr. Brando. And tonight, I want to welcome you guys to the status of the Iraqi Dinar IQD chat and live chat and super chat. And you can call in chat. Don't be afraid to chat because we're about chatting today, okay? Today was a huge day, y'all. A lot of people are talking about the whole blessings about the whole, the budget passing. The budget passing was huge, but we called the budget passing like at noon. We knew about that. That was going down, okay? The whole main story today is about two things. Today is about Solder, and today is about, what did I say? He's got 1 million followers, but he has no voice. How is this dude out here every day and he has 1 million followers and he doesn't get anything done? He didn't stop Mahandi from getting his cabinet into place. Bear with me, guys. A lot of people were going to say this, that I took this from somebody else, but I was talking to my core group of people today, and I'm going to propose a theory to all of you right now. What if Mahandi kept putting up Fiad to be the interior minister, knowing that I went with the interior ministry? Because remember, you got to backtrack now. We knew that the United States said that no matter what Iraq did, they were going to be an assistant to the distribution of the funds that came into the whole interior ministry money, the donor conference money. So bear with me, okay? What if Fiad says, well, you know what? I'm going to keep bringing up this one guy because I don't want him to pass, right? What if Fiad, and then the article comes out that says, Fiad says it's okay that he will do 2 roles. That's the tea, y'all. Fiat already told y'all, I don't mind doing 2 roles. So now think with me for a minute. Who's the one that kept holding up the cabinet members? It was Maliki at first, right? Amiri, that's 2. The next one was who? Sauter. Sauter came out in an article this week and said, I don't care how many people you put in front of me. I'm going to keep denying them until I get the one that I want. What if Sauter is the most corrupt of them all? Sauter's corrupt. Sauter's absolutely corrupt. The people of Iraq don't like Sauter to that degree. He has 1 million followers, but how do you have 1 million people that follow you in a country that basically has 30 million people, 1/3 the population, and you can't get anything done? He keeps saying, I'm for the people, I'm for the people, I'm for the people. But name one legislative act that Sauter's gotten done. Interesting theory, isn't it?
Sauter was a good guy.
We all did. Sauter sounds like a good guy on paper. Because Sauter came out on social media, the new avenue for getting everything out, just like our platform is getting everything out, right? I'm good. I'm for the people. But guess what Sauter's roots are based in right now? Communism. Sauter's aligned himself with a bunch of communists. So Sauter's mosque are spewing out communist theory. Sauter's thoughts are now played with communists because this guy is his ally. You feel me? So now he's hearing all this communism. Sauter has compromised his position. I know for a fact because of my contact in Iraq, who I can play for you, that tells you Sauter is one of the most corrupt people in Iraq. That's the T. Sauter is corrupt.
When was this discovered?
This morning.
No, but I mean by the people.
Well, the people have always felt that because you got to go back to like all the way back to the first part of the war when America, came into Iraq. Sauter's group, his militia group, was basically ISIS before there was ISIS.
So I'm talking about, so we had the election in May, right? We went through the recount, all that stuff. At what point in time did we discover that Sauter was corrupt? Because I thought Sauter was one of the good guys. And that's
wasn't Maliki one of the good guys until Maliki came in and was a bad guy?
Okay.
Same theory. Sauter's had 2 elections to get things done. The Maliki one, because Sauter was responsible for putting Maliki into power. Forget what you heard. Sauter was responsible for putting Maliki into power.
How so?
Because he was part of the reform the reform base at that time that supported Maliki. Maliki sold him a bill of goods. They got him into power, and then Maliki decided to turn out to be a dictator. That was the first part. So when Maliki stopped all the shenanigans and told those people out in the field to drop their arms to let ISIS take over, the Americans moved in. Sauter was part of the group of people out there beheading people, killing them. I have an article that I like to show you. Miss Bibi will definitely put it into chat, but I need you to go to What's Up.
I need the PDF converter.
Oh, okay.
Put it in the chat.
Okay, I have it right here, y'all. I sent it to a couple people today because I only had an Arabic version of it, but I have another version of it, and I will show it to you. We're going to put it in our community chat. Sauter is a bad guy. Okay?
Wow.
Sauter ain't your friend.
You're forwarding it to me.
Yep, right now. I didn't tell Miss Bibi this one.
Let me get my laptop.
Okay.
You mind?
I don't mind. Go ahead.
Because then I
y'all can marinate on this one.
I can put it in the community tab.
Yeah, I got the link and everything. What communism stands for in Iraq in today's times. Okay? What he believes in and his doctrine is basically that there's no hierarchy above the communist Reich. So that's why his mosques are corrupt. His businesses are corrupt. Sauter City is corrupt. Sauter's corrupt. His advisors are corrupt. That's why he hasn't passed any legislation. That's why nothing's gotten done. Forget the budget. The budget has no rate in it, but the budget does contain one key component that I'm going to go over that's going to help you understand where your investment is. But the budget is basically, I've had it translated by my friend. My friend and I went over. You know what he said? And this is a quote. He said, "This is why I like strategic stakes. This budget is full of nothing but convoluted things about different countries from the United Nations and the IMF that they were plagiarized and redone." So getting excited about the budget being passed is really a moot point. Knowing that the budget was getting passed, we knew hours before anybody else. That's old news to me. But knowing that solder is corrupt is absolute. Think about it. I've told you guys since the beginning, and I've heard your favorite YouTubers out there quoting my lines. There are 9 people that control Iraq, but we only often name 2 or 3. You know who 4 or 5 is, or maybe 5 or 6 is? One of them solder. Solder is absolute corruption. Okay? We've known this since 2014. Okay? Most people that are astute and that have been in this for a while will remember the invasion. They remember that Solder's always said he wanted to denounce America and promote Iraq. But no, it was to denounce America and promote Solder. He has 1 million followers, but how come he never gets anything done? Solder's been silent. Did you hear him during the budget clause? You hear anything about the budget, Solder? Did you hear him anything about, besides Fiad being in position? Solder Estate wanted to nominate old guy Hamid to that position, but he got another position. That was a deal. Solder is corrupt. Okay? Now, what does that corruption mean? It means that if the PM does not have to nominate an interior minister and a defense minister, he assumes those 2 roles. That keeps him out of harm's way from Maliki and keeps him out of harm's way from Solder so that he can assume those positions. You can't have one without the other. And just to give you guys a caveat, I told you guys, and I posted for you, who the Minister of Education was. Got that right. And who the Ministry of Justice will be. Got that right. We know both those. For sure. For sure. It was already done. I told you. Our people are astute. They're in this for real. Okay? Now, I've sent you that file. I want y'all to think about that and marinate on that for a second. Solder is super corrupt. Solder is not for the people. If Solder was for the people, why didn't he demand that in Basra the protest would stop? Why didn't he step in and say, we're going to provide you with basic services and goods? Why wasn't there implementation in the budget, which I've already seen? There's nothing in the budget about Basra. Nothing. In the budget, there's nothing but a bunch of convoluted things that are about the United Nations and about other foreign entities out there that are basically plagiarized and regurgitated. I've seen it. It's in there. Okay? It's not what we think. The only thing that's in the budget that's even noteworthy is what I told you guys on Facebook, Article 14.
So this is the article, correct?
Correct.
Where in here does it say Solder?
Doesn't have to. Solder got to the platform he's on today by being a communist and running with a communist platform. Okay. This is exactly the communist platform and what they stand for. It's kind of like China. China's a communist state. There is no God in China. The only God in China is the state. If you're a Christian or a Muslim, you're dead. So if you're a holy cleric, right? He's a cleric, but you're a communist, isn't that kind of basically a conflict of interest? Right? Mm-hmm. Look up communism. Don't look at this, what I'm going to show you, but look up communism. It tells you exactly. She's going to post it for you. Read the article. It's eye-opening. Okay? But let's get back to the budget because I digress. The one thing that I really didn't know about the budget that I couldn't call was I didn't know that the Kurds were not getting the attention that they so rightly deserved. So I've heard, and this could be rumor, their budget plans were at basically 12%. They wanted 17%, but this is how the budget gets to the table. They get 14%, okay? Now, while they get that, they also get a piece of the oil sharing revenue. Not the HCL, but a little bit of the oil sharing revenue to help disperse for funds, okay? With that, they also get their person that's going to be seated at the table somewhere. They're going to get another position held, okay? Because a Kurd has to hold one more position. Now, we know the rate of oil is going to be 3 million barrels per day, 3,880,000 per day, including 250,000 per day of the quantities of crude oil produced in the province of the Kurdistan region, okay? Those Kurds are going to get so many of those barrels per day as agreements of the budget, okay? That's not the big news. The big news is where's solder in the budget? Where are the basic services and needs? The only thing that's mentioned in the budget to me that was of some type of real interest or concern, GE signed a big time contract and it's in the budget, basically for 29 million USD. And it's for a space program that's for anti-terrorism that was signed under the Ministry of Security. And it was paid for under the umbrella of the IMF.
So this article is from 2014.
Correct.
Or it states 2014, but it's from 2007.
Right.
So we've been believing that he's a good guy when he's not.
When he's not. He pulled the wool over our eyes. He convinced us of one thing, but his whole belief system is another. And there it is in black and white. Okay? That's a lot, y'all. Solder is bad. Okay? I'm letting y'all know. So with Mahandi now being able to fill both positions and without fear of any repercussions from the Maliki group and Amiri group or the Solder group, he can assume both roles. Now that he's in position and accepted it, and he knows because the article that says he's going to be there for a long time, maybe now we can go forward with touching some of that donor conference money because the United States is control of it. So we know the distribution of funds will be okay. That leaves them open for a couple things. They could go forward with reforms because now they've got to see the government. Or they can go forward with reforms under the guidance of the United States of America or somebody else to help govern what they're going to do. But that's the play. He was never going to put anybody in their place. He was always going to keep that because he had the sovereign nation in his mind and in his thought the whole time. He wasn't going to give up the Interior Minister to anybody but someone that he knew could see the job through. Now, you're going to say, well, Mr. Brando, you're full of all these conspiracies. This is nonsense. This is not true, but it is true. Think about it. Solder didn't get his way. Maliki didn't get his way. The two most corrupt people that we can name in this investment today. If they didn't get their way, who will? Okay? It's very, very, very trying times. I don't know if anybody else that has this theory up to date, but I do. The cabinet's full. They're seated. It's done. Now all you're waiting for is the repercussions of that to see what happens next with what we would go through and call the reinstatement because it's open for play. If they accept Article 8 and they allow themselves to get off the MCP, they're in great position. I told you guys that the holdup was Article 14, and a lot of people said, what's Article 14? It makes no difference. Article 14 is not a real big deal. Article 14 is not a big deal. Article 14 is huge. Article 14 is the revision to what? The investment law. Okay? The investment law is about how they handle money's coming in and money's coming out. The full text of the article, according to the latest amendment to the draft law issued by the House, the ministries and the entities not affiliated with the ministries and the government shall expand the opening of the private investment door and participants with the private sector within the limits of their competencies, provide that this does not entail any financial burdens on the state treasury and on the council of ministers, excluding the oil and extractive industry sectors. So what are they saying? Excluding Chevron, who just signed a big deal, excluding the private sector, which needs to be activated, and excludes the burden of the ministers. Guess what? There's a rooster in the hen house. Why wouldn't you want those things open? Because someone won't have access to that money. You see what I'm saying?
No, say that again.
I'll read it one more time. The ministers and the entities not affiliated with the ministries and the government shall expand, open up the private investment door, which is the private sector, and participate with the private sector within the limits of their competencies. So now they're not a burden on the budget. If you're not on the budget, what did we talk about last time? The budget is the end-all, be-all for how much they can rely on their currency, because if you're in debt, you can't have more debt. Okay? So now they're going to expand and let the private sector open, let those participants take advantage of it, and it shall not be a burden, not only on the state treasury and the council of ministers, excluding oil and the industry of that. So what does that tell you? They're always going to keep their pinky in the oil pool because oil is end all be all for them. They're never going to relinquish all of that. Okay? The revenues resulting of the implementation to this article, the beneficiary party for the purpose of adding the equivalent to the budget in accordance with the regulations issued by the Minister of Finance remaining 70% notification of the Ministry of Finance as an exception to the financial management and the public debt. So they're telling you basically that the budget is this, but 70% of that will be the private sector. That's damn near the whole budget. Get it? The investment law is the key to you and I being able to go to the bank because the private sector is stimulated and it's self-sustaining. You can't have a body of people on the government tit. They have to be self-sustaining, okay? And if this private sector at this point can do 70% of what the budget's doing, can you imagine the window of opportunities, not only for unemployed Iraqis, but for the private sector, small and medium business, the banking sector? It all opens up, okay? So all y'all ask me, when is the RV going to happen? When's the RI going to happen? It's going to happen when you have private sector activity that's sustainable. Number two, we know now that the government is seated by proxy. That is done. And number three, when they can touch that donor conference money. All we're waiting on is three. They need to touch that donor conference money. Do you see why I am so excited about today? Today opened up such a huge window for you. You don't get it, huh?
No, it's just your level of excitement.
I'm pumped. This is the shit. I'm sorry. I live for this.
You're about to have a heart attack.
I am. I'm going to die on public news because I'm finally going to go to the bank and exchange my currency for something of value. If that ain't the kicker, I've got the kicker. Oh, I've got the kicker.
You got it?
What? I'm about that life. Y'all don't know. I eat, drink, and live this. This is what I do, okay? Y'all think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm enthralled because now the transparency and clarity in business are everything. No one will do business with someone that's not transparent. By them being a seated government, by them having a private sector with free capital flow, now they have access to the donor conference money. The donor conference money does what? They have to have what? An international recognized currency. That ain't the kicker. That still ain't the kicker. That's a... I'm going to smash this bitch to the door in a minute. I'm going to tell y'all, this is so exciting.
This is article, keep a straight face.
What? How can you not be pumped up for this? I'm going to take a couple questions. I'm going to take a couple calls.
I'm not even in the chat right now.
You don't even need to be there right now. I'm right there right now.
Okay, good.
Mr. Brando. There are a few people in the tube scheduled for chat for Friday now. I think they should know they need to be in this tube chat. Well, me too. Thank you. Get them over here. Zimbabwe's looking nice. Miss BB's gonna post that. Shout out to War Godness.
It's already out.
Shout out to Joe Williams. Joe Williams posted me that the budget passed. With the budget passing, it made everything gel together. Thank you, Joe. Shout out to Joe.
How about shout out to your wife for that awesome thumbnail pic?
Shout out to my lovely, super hot, sexy, smoking hot wife.
And it's out there on the community tab about
that does all my everything, okay? Technical. Shout out to the team for bringing it all together. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Frazier, for getting up at 4 a.m. and staying on this all day. Shout out to my boy from overseas that translated all this for me today and that gave me the little tidbit of information that I needed to tell you guys. I don't even know if I want to tell you yet. I'm going to make you wait. I'm going to make you wait a whole hour.
See, I was being proactive and I posted out there the next one for Friday. Now you're saying people sitting.
Yeah, right. They want to see it Friday too. We're in the future. We're not in the past. We called the budget at noon. Now you got people trying to jump on our live at 7. I'm just saying. Oh, the budget passed. Good job. I'm glad you're catching up to what we did earlier. We're off the budget. Okay. We're on the solder. We're on the solder in the corruption. We're going to take this call from Clean. Hey, I love it. Hey, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, not much. I was hearing you. This is Michael Stores. I'm calling from Texas. Okay.
All right, Michael.
There's a lot about Iraq I do know.
Yeah.
I've actually been there for almost 2 years.
Okay.
Well, okay. people didn't realize is you do think put the Iranians in half of the Iraqi government begin with.
Right.
All right. Half of Iraqi government was from Iran.
Right.
And that was coming from yours truly, El Sadr.
Right.
El Sadr is the head of the Mahdi, the Jayton Mahdi, which is the Mahdi army.
Right.
Okay. At the height of the war, he went from having 300 followers to having 27,000 followers. One of the reasons why they've been following him half the time is because he's like a faucet. 1 minute he'll agree to something. Next minute, if it's something he doesn't like, he'll have 35 car bombs go off in all over that country.
Think about it. Every time there's a car bombing or something going on, they blame it on ISIS, but it's always someone that Sadr's close to. Think about it.
I know.
I believe you, brother.
And what's funny is we knew about ISIS in 2005. Okay. We knew what was going on, but they told us never worry about it, small fry. And then that happened.
Right.
Anytime a terrorist group gets knocked down, regardless whether it's Al-Qaeda or who it may be, Hezbollah or any of those,
right?
There's always another terrorist group that pops up to fill that vacuum.
You're right, bro.
Okay. And see, where I'm coming from is I'm retired Army. Okay.
Thank you for your service.
I was on. Pleasure's all mine. I was 11 Bravo, rifleman in direct fire. Okay. There's a lot I actually do know between about Tehran and Iraq that I can't get. And some of it I can't disclose because it is classified.
Now, hold on real quick. Classified information means what? You can't talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So if it's classified, even though you're unenlisted, are you allowed, being a person that served in the military, to still divulge that if it has not been declassified?
I'm not allowed to disavow specific sensitive item information.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, I hate to cut you off, brother, but I got another call here. But would you call back on Friday and we talk more about your enlistment and what you know about Tehran?
Okay.
I appreciate you substantiating the theory, and keep the faith, brother. You're right on track with me. You're thinking the same way I'm thinking. I appreciate you, okay?
All right.
Hit me back.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cut him off. That was rude. I'm sorry. I'm a little pumped up tonight, y'all. Helena Stewart said, my hubby says you're astute. Thank you, Helena. If you look at the puzzle pieces, like I tell everybody, you don't have to be a genius to understand what's going on. You just got to think about it and not take off your dinar goggles. Think about it in relative terms. If this was me and it was my business, what would I do? Okay? That's it. Thanks, Helena. Yes, we do pray for Jesus. Who is still hopeful? I'm still hopeful. Trump's going to remove the corruption. I hope so. Someone needs to. Did you not see that article the other day that it was on Twitter that they were having a thing with the real Supreme Cleric in Iraq? And I retweeted it. If someone could tweet it out to me again, he said, we need to do the same thing that we do to corruption that they did to the Nazis. It needs to be stopped. That's how deep-rooted corruption is. Now, my friend that I talk to a lot told me that corruption gets a lot of things done in business because you're able to pay off people and do things and get things out of the way and get what you want. But corruption is absolute because you're always going to keep paying. We've got to stop the corruption. And that's the play of Mahandi right now. Stop the Amiris and the Malikis. Stop the Sadrs. Go straight down the middle. Brilliant. Yeah. Man, they pass the budget every year, and guess what they don't do? They never open it. You want to know why? Because I've opened the budget this year. It's full of nothing but convoluted, plagiarized, IMF, WTO bull. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it to be even mentioned. There's nothing in it. But Article 14, the only thing that had to do with the investment of foreign investors was in it. And it was the only thing that held up the budget. They even passed a damn space program with GE. What the hell? How do you have a space program and not an international currency? That, by the way, the IMF is funding. That's in there. Giggity, giggity. You were told today it's done, then I should be at the bank. I'm excited. You're excited? Hey, Heaven, I'm excited. Corey, boom, drop mic. We can end this call right now. But I got one more thing to tell you. I'm going to make you wait. You're going to wait for this one. You're going to wait. Because this here is going to move the needle, okay? This is the difference between your average person in the investment and someone that actually talks to people that are in the investment, okay? And you're all going to say I'm nuts. You're all going to say I'm crazy. You're all going to say, oh, Mr. Brando, he's a guru now. He just talks about all this prophecy. No prophecy, no bullshit. I'm going to tell you the real. I'm going to give it to you, okay?
What's the kicker?
What's the kicker? Mm-hmm. The kicker is the currency itself, the mechanism of the currency. How many of you guys are familiar with fractional banking? I'm waiting. We're going to talk about that. Open the floodgates for the private sector. That is key. Thank you, Jason. Hey, Blanca, we're getting there. I ain't there yet. I still got 30 minutes. Somebody call me.
They don't want you to shout at them.
I'm going to scream at you today. If you ain't pumped up today, I don't know what's wrong with you. If you know the players and you know the game, now we know what to expect. Do you see my point? If you know who's playing the game and you know what these players are, if I know that's a stake and I know that's a snake, then I can maneuver around those snakes to where I need to be. That's why I put all these things in these shows.
Walk the toxic, go solder.
Go solder. Go to hell. Shit. Solder, kiss my ass. Solder, get some legislation done. Solder, what about those million people in Solder City that don't have basic electricity or food? But your ass is living in the green zone.
People are funny in the chat. They want to know if Rachel cashed out.
I don't know. Rachel, call us. Did you cash out? Rachel, call us. Did you cash out?
Helena said, "Where John? Did he get paid? Did he get paid? He got out."
No, I mean, y'all listen. I'm not even going to defend it. Y'all,
they're being funny though.
I know they are. I'm doing the Carlton, Chris, because I can't dance, but I can boogie. I know what's happening, and now you know what's happening. That's the beauty of this. Oops, I don't think you're on speaker. You're live on the status of the reinstatement of the Iraqi Dinar.
Mr. Brando and Miss Phoebe, how are you? It's Sandy.
Hi,
hey, Sandy.
Hey, I just wanted to let you all know that I am so pumped.
Sandy.
I love the energy, and I'm just taking notes, and I just want to let you know that I'm one of your biggest fans. Keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sandy.
But Sandy, do you understand the play about Solder? Do you see why he's corrupt?
I do.
Think about it. Would you want things to change if you didn't want things to change and you had that much power, 1 million followers?
So
yes, it doesn't make sense.
Do you think he rigged the election?
Yes, he rigged the elections. That's why it took so long for them to pass it. Think about it. The elections were shrouded, and they said, oh, this person cheated, that person cheated. 281-789, call right back. Solder cheated. He's a crook.
That's true.
He's not a cleric. He's a crook. He's a crook in godly clothes. That's what he is.
I know. It's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame. But I'm going to let other people call in. I just want to say I love you guys.
Love you too.
Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy. Be blessed, okay? Have a great weekend. Don't stay online, Sandy. Sandy, stay tuned because I'm going to drop a bomb for you in a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'll call back that other number.
It's not the weekend, baby. You told her to have a good weekend.
Well, it's my weekend. I'm partying. Shoot, this is the best day ever. What? Y'all don't share my excitement.
You know what? I share that excitement. You already know me.
I know.
Hello?
Hello, did you call Mr. Brando?
Yes, I did. How you doing, Mr. Brando?
Hey there.
Hey, how you doing?
You live.
You live.
This is Sean, Warfield, retired veteran.
Hello?
And I got him. I'm up there. And,
Hey, Mama, nice to meet you too.
I'm taking care of my mom. She's 75 years old.
Bless her heart. You're a good man.
Yes. Brando, you hit it right on. Sauter is like Satan. I'm gonna tell you that now. Sauter, if you look into his eyes when he's on TV or anything, he's a snake.
Yep, he is.
And people need to understand that because you look at it, the devil was cast out of heaven.
Sure was. Most beautiful of angels, wasn't he?
It wasn't. And that's why I tell people need to watch Sauter because Sauter is really creepy to me and he's sneaky.
Very sneaky. And think about it. Why has he been silent?
Exactly.
He was screaming for reforms for the people. Bosra still has no basic. Bosra's the first richest oil piece in Iraq. Nothing's happened.
Nothing is happening at all. And why? If he's that powerful like he say he is, and that he was his region there was the winner, why isn't he not pushing the issue?
Sure was. And let me ask you another question. If your top consultant is a communist,
you see what I'm saying?
I'm following. Are you smelling what I'm laying down?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I say, man, he's right on.
Man, y'all, this is eye-opening. This is the truth.
People don't realize. I say, man, he's right on time with it.
We appreciate you, my brother. We gotta let you go to open up them lines.
I love you guys.
We love you too.
Hey, Brando, keep doing what you doing.
Until they shut me down.
All right, have a good
Until
one.
Sauter comes after me. Come on, Sauter, why don't you call me? Punk.
Get out of here.
I'm with it tonight. Oh my God, we got phone blowing up.
To accept, press 1.
I don't know how to accept.
Voicemail, press 2.
I gotta take the second call next. You're live. Hello?
Gotta hang up.
Let me see if they're on.
Just hang up. And then the next call should come too.
Okay, so this is this one, Arizona. Should I call Arizona back? I'm calling Arizona back. Arizona, I'm calling you back.
Hello?
Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, you're live.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Man, me and you, what's going on?
What the wife do?
Man, we're happy and blessed to be here and highly favored. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm a little behind though on the live. I'm to the point where you were talking about fractional banking, and if someone will call in, I read the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island. I worked in the banking industry, so I kind of understand fractional banking, and you put money in there, they're able to lend out 9 to 10 times as much as you put in.
Think about it. So if you I'm gonna give you a teaser, okay? If you only got 60 billion in reserves, okay?
Yeah.
And you know that based upon the dinar that you have out in the world is basically only worth 2 cents, right?
Okay.
How are they ever going to revalue it to anything with the people with purchasing power to get the 3-0 notes off the menu? Because the Iraqi government's already told you that they want all those 3-0 notes. Now, to get those notes off the plate, they got to go to 1,200 to 1, right? Follow me for a minute. And to get 1,200 to 1, it goes to $1.20 to 1. Huh?
You talking the 1,200 to 1.
Correct. Correct, right?
Okay.
So now if they do that and they want those 3 zeros off the notes, if you're an Iraqi citizen and basically you were getting 20 cents on the dollar, would you give up all your 3-0 notes?
Not at all.
Why would you?
I mean, you're getting robbed if you do that.
So do you think that maybe the Iraqi dinar is maybe nothing more than an algorithm for fractional banking? The core unit of it, maybe?
Yeah, just maybe, yeah.
Think about it. I'm not being so abstract. I'm being silly. Think about it.
I mean, I'm with you.
I appreciate your call, bro. I gotta make another call back, but think about that. I'm not saying it to say it. I'm saying it because I believe it.
I'm with you.
Hey,
So
man.
We're gonna have to do something better than the 12. From what you just suggested.
Exactly.
People more power. You're gonna have to give them more purchasing power.
Exactly.
It's gonna work.
The only way. Why would I give up? Why would I give you 20 points on my money when I know you want my money bad, real bad, to the point where you.
Show me something. You better show me something that's really gonna get me in there to give it up.
Exactly. Because why wouldn't I just go over to America when it's going to be at 120, at least $3, come back and exchange it back? Even on a loss on the exchange, I'm still going to make money.
Yeah.
I believe that was Rachel trying to call.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hang up, bro.
Yeah. Go ahead, get her, because I know she with the groups. I was on listening the other night, so yeah.
Thank you for calling.
All right, boss. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let's call Rachel. That was Rachel in.
Yeah, because somebody just said in the chat.
Okay, I'm calling you, Rachel. Rachel, answer your phone.
Hello?
Is this Rachel?
Hello?
Hello?
Hey!
Hey!
Is this Mr. Brando?
Yes, and Miss BB's here.
I didn't expect a phone call. Anyways, hello, how are you?
Great. How are you?
What?
We're great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. I don't have any new news to report. All I know is that I've been in this for about 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and just recently, within the past 2 weeks, I have been asked to update all of my documents
Mm-hmm.
and get everything notarized.
Uh-huh.
To the point where I have to put in all my serial numbers for all the Zim and Dong that I have, which has never happened before.
Okay.
And that, everything's gone to a lawyer
Okay.
to look over,
Okay.
to make sure that everything is in place.
Yes.
Or when I get a call to go to Reno.
Okay. So you're ready to go. Now, you said the other day that you thought you were going to go like on Tuesday. Did they give you an explanation on why it didn't go Tuesday?
Right. So there has been no explanation.
Okay.
What I was told was that the funds would be released on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I have not gotten that confirmation.
Okay.
All I know is that within the 5 years that I have been in this is the first time that a lawyer's been involved, and then I've had to update and notarize all my documents. I've had to put in serial numbers of every currency I've had, minus the dinar, because you can't look at the numbers and everything on the dinar. And I had to present a humanitarian project with a budget. Okay. So I had to present a humanitarian project, and it had to have a budget for starting and for it to start and how much it's going to cost to finish it.
Okay. Very interesting.
And that, and that's all I know for right now. I will definitely keep you updated.
Okay.
And that's all I know.
Rachel, you rock. Keep calling in and keep letting us know, okay? You rock. You rock. I mean, seriously, it takes a lot of courage what you're doing.
Being on this call, just with everybody listening, and I'm just so, super excited for, what's about to happen. And, the one thing that I would like to tell everybody is, if you're involved with this, put together a humanitarian project, because that is what they're looking for. They want to know if they put all this money in your lap, that you have a humanitarian project that you are willing to, put forth this money and make something happen in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So get that together, do your research on that, and have that ready. So that's going to make a world of difference.
Well, God bless you, Rachel, and thank you so much for calling. Call us back on Friday to give us an update, okay?
All right. God bless.
God bless. Thank you. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
Someone just brought up a very valid point. Why is the Forex giving out the same old rate? Because the currency is not international. Why is a currency on Forex is a question you should ask yourselves. Forex only trades in currencies that either go up for a profit or a loss, right? So why would IQD be on Forex unless it's for profit or for loss? Does that make sense? So Iraq is going to be a currency that will be on Forex for profit or for loss. Either way, either fractionally or marginally or nominally, it will be on there for something. Okay. It might be. You might just, can you post just the link?
Yeah.
Just post the link so they can read it. Yeah. Golden says Iran will follow Iraq to the footsteps. However, with Iran's isolation, there will be change. And that change is coming. Okay. I
wonder why she has to have a humanitarian project.
I heard a lot about groups that say you got to do certain things to get people, where they know the money's going to some good. I don't know all the rules.
Because my thing is this: what if you're not getting that much? So that person that may have one note and that's it. Why would they have to put up?
Maybe they don't have to. We don't know.
Right.
Maybe if you have one note, like you give $100 or something, like you're good. Like kind of like think of like a tithing. I think like at least they know some of the money's going to like humanity.
A church or something.
Yeah, something. I believe in anything that has a moral compass. My theory is this: there's a lot of people that are invested in the IQD. They're gonna get this money and do nothing with it, but hoard their riches. Mm-hmm. But if they do something to benefit somebody somewhere, then God bless them. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Private banking. Jonathan, I said, are you familiar in fractional banking? Anthony, if you're familiar with fractional banking, call me.
You just had to call it fractional banking.
Yeah, that might have been Anthony, huh?
Yeah.
I am on fire, y'all. I'm hotter than fish grease tonight. I am.
You hotter than fish grease?
Fish grease is hot.
Oh, Lord, you so
And I don't care if y'all get on here and tell me I'm screaming in the mic. Tonight, you going to listen and you going to learn. You going to learn today. Solder is not your friend.
You country.
I am. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. I'm from a dairy farm. I live right next to a dairy farm.
No.
Just because I live in a city and I wear a polo shirt don't make me good.
That's true.
Solder's not your friend. Mahandi's supporting two roles. The government is seated. The only thing of our holy trifecta we need is what? For them to say that the donor money is accessible. That's it. Sure. And one more thing. I'm going to tell you. You got 3 minutes before I start that story. Yeah, the green zone's fully open. You want to know why? Because they're about to be fully free.
Free is free.
Talk the talk, walk the walk, straight to the bank. That's right. That's the thing. If Sauter was about that life, if he was really about what he talks about, why aren't we at the bank? Why don't their people have purchasing power? Because he's full of crap. And that's why Mahani's blocking him. You feel me? It makes sense. Eyes glued, meat. Okay. Mr. Brando, I need some of what you're smoking so I can get pumped up too.
I'm with you on that.
Hey, it's called mouth orgasm. Get you a whole bunch of it. You can buy it at Bedlam Vapes in Oklahoma City. I get it private. It's great stuff. You can buy it by the milliliter or by the jar. I buy it by the jar. He's another Pelosi. I don't know who that is. I don't know what Pelosi. Oh, you're talking about Pelosi, the one who wants to fly around the world on the company on the world's nickel and everybody pay for it. Yeah, fractional banking grace is definitely about taking $100 and turning it into $1,000. That's what it is. And the vehicle for that is the dinar. That's why you don't have to worry about how much money is in circulation. And that's why when people tell you things like, well, how much money do they have to substantiate what they're doing? You ain't got to worry about it. Because if they're fractionally banking it, they've already allocated all those funds to something else. Okay? In godly clothes, have mercy. You're right about that. Drop that bomb. You're right. 1 minute, I'm going to tell that story. I took an Ambien already. I can't wait an hour. I'm falling asleep. You gonna wait. You got 1 minute, and I'm going to tell you. Pay attention again. Okay. I'll tell you guys again. One, the budget with the investment law, the key to our investment is key. Number two, we know that Mohammed is going to accept the interior minister and the interior defense minister is fulfilling the government. Number three, the next thing for them to do is touch the donor money. Now, I got to tell you a story. So I have a friend. He's a good guy. We talk hours on end every other day. I have actually 4 people that I talk to besides Miss BB, and we talk all day long. My friend that I'm talking about is a person that his whole job is to be like a broker for currency, right? So he buys massive amounts of currencies for people, not just people's, for things like Pepsi, like Coke, well, he's bought in the last few years massive amounts of dinar and had them placed into people's custody.
He said you can tell that?
Yeah. And we were talking, and I said, well, prove yourself to me. So he sent me his dossier. A dossier in the international community basically is someone that sends you all their credentials. And God, I wish I could show you all his credentials, but he is astute. He's the man. Where else do you think I picked up the term fractional banking? I never talked about it once in my life. Number two, he told me, he said, I can't tell you what's happening, but I know something's going to happen within the next month where 2 shipments of not like 100,000 or 200,000 or 300, not even $1 billion, try 500 billion in dinar goes out. 2 orders. Okay, I can't tell you when. So I said to him, well, what are they saying? He said, well, I can't tell you that. I said, why? He said, because I don't know. They won't tell me. So I have another friend. His name is George, and all you guys see him on the internet. And we talk about the Iraqi exchange market, right? And he tells me, look, I can't tell you what about the dinar. I don't think of an RI or an RV, but I think of this. Everything that I'm supposed to know that's anything about this investment will happen in April. My friend says, I can't tell you anything, but the person that's making these purchases told me that contractually they can tell you everything in April. Now, I'm not telling you anything that can happen before April, but I know that before April, we will know exactly or pretty darn close what's going on. Whether we're going to be let off and set off for another 3 months, 4 months, a year, or a major play is going to happen and you're going to be able to not only just be involved in some major things, but you'll be at the bank smiling. And that's what you've been waiting for. That's it. That's all I have.
You got 8 minutes, Dougie Fresh.
Anybody else want to call me? I just told you. Massive amounts of currency are moving around the world to 2 destinations that are going to happen between now and later. When those 2 things are fulfilled, before April, they can tell you what's exactly going on in the universe with the dinar. The people that are in charge of the Iraqi stock exchange are basically telling us that in April, we'll have a great idea what's going on. When's the donor monitor going to be touchable between now and April? If they have a fully seated government. Hey. Hold on. Hello?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hi, you're live.
Hey, April, this is Faye.
Hey, babe.
I just have one question. Option.
Go ahead.
You want to talk about the option?
What was that?
Say again, babe.
You want to talk about the option?
Auction.
Yes. Babe sent me an article that said basically, oh, I sent it to myself. And this was the other component. I'll grab it here. I think I got it here.
Okay, bye.
Okay, let me see if I got it right here. Oh, here it is. The Central Bank of Iraq says they needed to figure out new ways to actually get the economic and banking advisor to the Association of the Iraqi Bank said on Wednesday that the central bank is proposing new banking products to support the profitability of banks and achieve financial coverage in 2019. Now, there's only two ways they can do that: get more deposits, loan out more money, or stop the MCP. At the end of the article that Babe is so duly noting says, he added that the bank is working to revitalize the economic cycle by moving the real banking activity and not rely on the window of selling foreign currency after the decline. They're basically telling you to make this money move, they're going to stop the auctions really quickly. Am I lying?
You're right, bud. You're right.
That's it.
Now, Babe, do you have the link to that article?
Yes, I can get it.
And then just
Email it to you.
or you could just send it through Facebook, on Messenger. Just send me
Through our normal channels.
You can
Okay,
send
I
it.
can send it through Messenger.
Yeah, that's fine. Send it to me directly so I can post it on the community tab.
I will do that.
Done.
Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
No worries. All right. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I got 5 minutes to recap. Okay? What?
Go ahead.
5 minutes to recap. So I'm going to recap.
The articles are too big to post.
Right.
That,
So let's recap. Sauder's not our friend. Mahdi accepts the two positions. There's a proxy government set. We can touch the donor conference money. We know there's entities in the world that are buying massive amounts of dinar and moving it around the world for what reason we don't know. We know that they were told in April they would have every answer to everything they ever needed. Okay? We also know that the ISX says that possibly they're going to be doing their thing in April. So that's two people that are totally not involved with each other. They're saying that month everything should be done. We should know what we're doing. I'm not calling it, but I'm saying it's either going to be good, bad, or indifferent. Number three, the bank just told you they got to stop the auctions. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you why you should be excited. This is the only reason why you should be excited. You're in the time, you're in the frame. I don't know what day, no, but I do know that we're almost there. So keep the faith, hold on strong, be diligent, have plans ready, know what you're going to do. And beyond all that, be kind to each other. Anybody else got Mr. B? The groups at set rate. I don't know about groups, Jason. They're not getting the rates that we may soon be getting, whatever the rates will be. Jason, there's only one rate. Now, when Rachel comes back, she'll explain her rate or a different rate. But until then, there's only one rate.
I've seen this article actually. About stopping the auction.
The dinar will float. Well, you're damn right it will float. We know that. But at first it will be reinstated, Carlos. Iran will invade Iraq and the currency you didn't exchange will go to poop. Well, they'll have a whole problem with that whole methodology, Carlos, that they have the United Coalition forces staying in Iraq to stop them. I don't know what that is. Mr. Goshman liked the show because it does not have all the fluff as the forums. I don't know about any of that stuff, y'all. I just try to give you what I know. I preach it. I told y'all what I know. You want to know what I'm thinking? That's exactly what's going on. We got 2 minutes. Mr. Brando, does Leo want to play into this RV? I don't know what Leo is. X, please tell me what Leo is. I agree, Sean. I am a Mr. Kangaroo. I'm not a guru. I'm a kangaroo. John's busy skills. Hey, skills. Sauder is Pelosi. Thank you. Sauder is the Pelosi of Iraq. Last call. You're live and you're my last call.
people.
Hi.
I have a quick question. I'm fairly new with this investment, currency investment. My question is, when we get this rate, how am I able to do my research to make sure that rate is valid? Or even near the rate it should be. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. What's your name? Give me a fake name if you want to, so I know what to call you.
Oh, I said Sarah. It's okay. My name is Sarah.
Oh, hey, Sarah. I'm Mr. Brando, and that's Miss BB, okay?
So wouldn't
Yeah,
4X
hello,
be a
hello.
place that she
4X will give you your baseline, or the CBI website will give you your baseline, okay? You're going to call or look at the major banks and give them a call to their foreign currency area. You're going to ask them, if I exchange one $25,000 note, what's my exchange rate? Give them a baseline. Go to the bank that you feel most comfortable with and say, look, I don't have 25,000, I got 75,000. What are you going to do for me to deposit this money in your bank? Remember, a bank only makes money 3 ways: deposits, loans, and fees. That's it. Okay?
Okay. Got it.
And remember, you're in charge. You don't need a lawyer to negotiate. You know, if the spread's 3%, go for 2.25. Go for 2 points. Go for no points. If you got enough currency, demand what you want. You're in charge. You're the currency holder, not the bank. The bank needs you. You don't need a bank.
Okay. Thank you so much. I listen to you guys all the time. Ms. BB, you be sipping them cocktails. I be sipping right here with you. And I appreciate what you do. Please continue doing your good work. I appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you too, Sarah. You have a great night, okay? We'll talk on Friday.
All right. Take it easy now.
All right,
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. That's 8 o'clock. I dropped all my bombs. I gave y'all I know.
Like degenerate.
I was told what I can tell you. And on that one, guess what?
Deuces, y'all.